Hello everybody, thank you for watching. In the last video, I talked about where to buy your investment property. Why do you buy property in those locations which generate good income as a property investing? In this video, I'm going to share with you what not to buy, where not to buy, basically. So where location-wise that you should not think about buying a property too nearby, and it's because those locations are actually not very good for investment purpose. The first, city center. You might think, oh, that's crazy. Why city center is not a good area to buy? It's because in city center, it's very built up. The price is too high. When you have a very high price, you got no room for capital appreciation or very little room. You have to wait for quite some time. And it's very difficult to find good investment property, exactly number of bedroom you like, the size you like in the bedroom, car parking space. It's very difficult in a very built up city center to buy the type of property you want for investment purpose. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, the second thing, university. So you shouldn't buy property near university. Why? Because there's too many students in university. And then when you wanted to sell it, it might not be a very good location for family wanted to buy, so the demand will be very low. Only if you are thinking about using that property for a university HMO, house of multiple occupancy. But management of the house of occupancy, house of multiple occupant could be quite a challenging task unless you can find a very good letting agent to do it for you. So if you are looking at investing property, you wanted to buy the property, holding on for a few years, getting good rental money, and eventually maybe selling it off. And I would say buying at university might not be what you want it to do. So try to stay out of it. Right, so the third location I don't recommend is the train station. I don't think you should buy near train station. Number one, the noise is too bad. Very, very bad noise. You have to be really, really good soundproof. That's the first thing. Second, near train station, usually the car parking, the traffic is a nightmare. So you don't really want to buy property too near to the train station. Now, the differences would be a train station or the tube, like the underground station would be a different matter. With the underground station, it's fine, but the normal railway train station nearby, ideally you want to stay out. The next thing that I don't recommend that you should buy is near airports. Simple reason, if you buy house too near airport, the noise is really, really bad and it's dangerous. Imagine if you've got a airport landing crashing in your property, insurance might not even cover. Maybe I'm just too negative about it, but try not to buy near airport because it's too seasonal. If you're running a property business and if you wanted to run like Airbnb or HMO, you know, airport might be good for HMO if you wanted to run it. As I said, if running a house of multiple occupancy property strategy, you need a good agent. If you don't want to have the hustle run it yourself, you either stick with a single let or you stick with other high cash flow strategy, which we talk about it in another session. But buying near airport is definitely not a very good idea because it's usually have a lot of hotel, have a lot of tourists, and you know, it's very noisy most of the time. The next location I don't recommend anyone at all to buy nearby is a nuclear station. What is it? It's like power station, but it was used nuclear plant to generate the power. And there are quite a few in some of the locations that I understand in the UK. So if you are nearer to a nuclear station, you may want to buy a bit further out because that sometimes could be quite dangerous. And if people know this is too near to a nuclear station, when you wanted to sell it on, you might not get the value that you expect that will be, you know, having. And you think that the lease is going to be finishing, there is another one. So the next one I think that you shouldn't be buying nearby is industrial estate. So with the industrial estate, some light industrial estate is okay. What do I mean about light industrial estate is like, the shopping center industrial area where B&Q, where Magnet, Plum Center, all of this kind of like lighter service-based shop are located. They are fine. They're usually quite close to a built-up sort of residential location. There's no trouble at all about that. What I do have a problem with is the heavy industrial estate. For example, the factories, chemical factories, car manufacturing factories, and all the different factories. One is the waste, second is the noise, the third is that the environmental impact of that area might not be very suitable for the professionals to move in. It's okay if you rent it out for family who work in that area, but as root of fun, if you are a property investor, your aim is to buy a property generating high cash flow and maybe sell it on later when the market value gone up. And I would say maybe try to stay away from heavy manufacturing type of industrial estate, because for the environmental, for the noise, for the waste, whatever that is, it might not necessarily fit the purpose. The next one. So I have my number 7 here. For some people, that's what they like to buy. Now, there is some location, beautiful scenery, near the sea, have loads of going on. We call it holiday resort. Nothing wrong with buying in holiday resort, apart from it's seasonal. For an income generation point of view, we would like to generating money when you sleep passively, not having to worry about is spring coming, winter's coming, all that. When you buy properties in holiday resort as a holiday home near caravan park and whatever that is, the issue is that when the summer's coming, there's a lot of traffic. When there's no summer coming, there's less traffic. When you try to change strategy for property investment purpose, it's very difficult because you may have opened up an Airbnb in the location. Summer is great. We call it 6 months feast, 6 months famine. So summer is great. Winter's not it's disaster. When you have that kind of pattern, it's unpredictable. It's not easy to scale. So it's not a good way for you to use the property as investment purpose. So obviously, if your business is mainly a hospitality business, that you run Airbnb, then I would say that's a different matter. But if you wanted to buy property for just generic property investment and a generic strategy that you can change as the market changes, be more adaptable, then I would say maybe not so close to the kind of beach, the kind of, unless where the town and city is near the beach, that's a different matter. But if you are somewhere in the Midlands, you want to buy investment property, you don't want to go all the way to Wales, to the south, the beach area, just to buy it because you think it's a good idea. So I would recommend that whatever you're thinking about doing, whatever you wanted to do in property investing, do more research, do proper, sophisticated, in-depth market research about the type of property strategy you wanted to go in, the type of income you hope to achieve. And from that point onwards, based on the strategy you are thinking, then look at the location that more matching with your buying criteria. If you don't know what is the buying criteria, you could ask me that question. I could explain to you different buying criteria, different strategy. If you're happy with what you learned today and you want to learn a little bit more, let me know what topic you want me to share with you, and I look forward to speak to you soon. Thank you very much for watching.